What's going on, y'all? Andres here, also known as Madchia, also known as Bovine, coming at y'all with a brand new video here. This time we're doing kind of that Latin sound. I was going through Splice the other day and I found this dope guitar loop and I really just wanted to beat make. So nothing too complicated here. We just making a beat and I'm happy for y'all come along. Appreciate y'all. Before we get into it, here's a quick preview and then I'll break down what I added to the loop and we'll go from there. So like I said, guys, I found this dope guitar loop on Splice. I just dragged it into Ableton and I didn't really do too much to it, to be honest with you. Just a fire guitar loop. Let's give it a listen. So first thing I wanted to do was add like a piano to help it out. Now, as you can see here, I got these chords. Now, some of y'all might be wondering, how did he come up with these chords? Is he just, blessed with his ears to know where the notes hit? Yes. The answer is absolutely not. But luckily, I know a workaround to it and I'm going to show y'all. So this is exactly how I got the chords to get this guitar loop. And all you need is Ableton. You don't need no, chord finder or any of those like plugins that show you the notes. Those are dope. Don't get me wrong, but I personally don't feel like you really need it. Let me show you how I do it. So here on the loop, what we're going to do is we're going to highlight it. We're going to right click it. And as you see down here, it has a couple different settings you could do. Convert harmony to new MIDI, convert melody, convert drums. What we want is the harmony of the guitar loop or of any sample. And just so you know, this works pretty well with any sample. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit convert harmony to new MIDI track. And it's going to process the loop and it's going to come up what it thinks it's playing. And there you go. It gave you the MIDI notes. Now, what we're going to do is we can listen to it. You can tell they're on key for the most part. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to double click on the MIDI. We're going to see what notes are kind of being played continuously through the MIDI that Ableton produced here. So right off the bat, I could tell there's going to be a G. So I'm going to stretch that chord out. There's going to be another G. There's going to be another A. And there's going to be a D. This one I can take out. Next one here, we were going to have a C. We're going to have another G. Take that one out down there. We're going to have another A sharp, another C, another D. Take out these extra notes. We're going to have another D up here. And as you can see, they're kind of repeating the same, just on different levels of the scale. So the way to get the chords now, so let's do these two here, right? So we got these notes. So now what I would do is whatever is in different scales, I would then hold shift and down arrow and make them fit the scale that I have here. So, and then shift up arrow. So these are the chords that it's playing. So now if we just play these chords out here, and what I'm gonna do is just turn the velocity up so we can really hear it. Right? And we can go another step further. We're going to do this A down here. We got this A from the bottom, so we don't need that there. We're going to bring it down. We got this C here. We're going to bring that one out. We got this D sharp. We're going to bring this one out. And we can even keep this E, but let's just take it out for now. We can even keep this G if we want. Sure, let's go ahead and add it. Let's put these back in here. And this other stuff we can just delete. Let's give it a listen. So now you got your chord progression and you can do that through the whole loop. All you got to do now is mess with the timing of it, mess with the velocities of it, and obviously get a good sounding plugin. I'm using the basic model, the wing upright. I'll leave it how it is. I think this one sounds beautiful and dope. So now that you know how to find the chords and you do your little timings here, let's see how I did it. I set my velocities here. I put my chord lengths a little bit off, a little bit different, just to make them sound like they were played in. And then I kind of just mess with the chord progression to make them sound how I think sounds good with the guitar loop. So now let's give it a listen with the wing upright now. All right, guys, next up. Now, this was really giving me like some Kinto soul vibes when I just heard that guitar. Of course, you know, we had to get some horns to really get that Hispanic vibe going. I have these frozen. So what I'm going to do, just in case, because sometimes it doesn't work correctly, and I don't want to flatten it so we don't lose the MIDI. So I open up a new audio track, control and click, bring it down. Now we can just turn this one off and we'll have the audio file for it up here. I suggest do not flatten the audio because you're going to lose the MIDI. And what if you need to go back and switch it, or somebody needs the stems, you can give them like the stems, but it'd be nicer if they have more room to tweak it, or if you send it somebody else has to plug in and wants to switch it up. So these horns is from Opus out of the East West Hollywood Fantasy Brass. This is the 3 WAG tuba stack short RR ×4. This is the preset here. You know, some of these are in scale, some of these are not. It all depends. I'm going with the feel of the guitar that I'm hearing. I'm not really worrying about the scale right now because technically it says the guitar is an A sharp minor, but O notes don't fit in there. So I'm just going with fill in at this time. And that's how you should approach it when you're making a beat. Go with fill in, don't go with science. Science is nice to know, but always use your ears. We are going to give this a listen now. All right, guys, we're going to the second horns here. Now, this is the exact same preset. Like I said earlier, it's the Hollywood Fantasy Brass 3 Wagatube stack short RR ×4. And the pattern here is the same for the most part. It has a little bit more notes. It just has the notes playing in 2 different octaves to make them sound full. Let's go ahead and give it a listen, how it transitions from the solo one to the dual. To me, that sounds dope. That sounds like, you know, that sounds like Hispanic culture to me. You know, that sounds like something I could hear Kinto soul. All right, guys, this is the last sound, and then we get to the drums and the bass. This is also from Opus. This is the Goliath. The preset is from Opus. It is the East-West Goliath pack tremolo strings, and the preset that I'm using is the Mid E strings 2, and I pick which notes sound good out of those chords to stay in unison but also give it a little bit more flavor to the beat. Beautiful. So that's kind of like the difference from the chords to just the guitar playing with the drums, and then this little separate section added to it with the violins to make it sound more dramatic. I think it fits it all pretty great. I'm gonna skip the drums for now, and I'm gonna move on to the bass line. Actually, let me backtrack real quick, just so y'all know, on these horns and on the violins, all of them have reverb on them. I have, well, they have some EQ on it, just kind of cleaning it up what I don't want. And then I have Valhalla on it. This is the Valhalla Vintage Verb. I have it at 37%, you know, decent little decay, and clean it up here with the EQ to kind of make them all fit together, because without the reverb, to me, they sound like they're not, they almost sound like they're kind of not in the same room. So when you put the reverb on them with the same one, to me, they sound like they're sharing the space now instead of being in separate rooms. That's the best way I can describe it when I do it, why I do it. We're going to move on to the bass line here. Now, the bass line I got out of Atmosphere, and the preset that I use for this one is the Moog Pulse Bass. It's a very nice Moog sounding bass. then for the drums, it is honestly the simplest drums that you can think of, but everything else just fit great in my opinion. So I'm gonna just kind of break these down super quick for y'all. First off is we have a snare on the 2 and 4. That's it, going through the beat. Next thing, again, super simple. We have a hi-hat pattern here. All that it's doing is a 1/8 pattern, and I have the velocities moving so it doesn't sound like it's super robotic, but they are on time. It's keeping the tempo. Like I've said before, I like my melodies to have more of that swing. The guitar has a little bit of humanizing in it, so does the piano, and so do the horns. So my drums, I just really want them to keep the rhythm, keep the mind in tempo. And last but not least, guys, I have a kick here. Now the kick, I just put a pattern that sounded dope to me. There's nothing else to say about it, you know? So yeah, man, that's pretty much the beat, man. I hope y'all dig it. Before I forget, if you guys aren't in my Discord, go ahead and join it. You know, I be putting up samples when I make sample videos. You know, any loops that I make from scratch, I put them up. Also, you know, I'm trying to get a community in there. Let's collab, send your loops, samples, you know, let's work together. Let's get this up. Let's get this money. Let's keep moving forward, man. Let's get this music thing off the ground together. I think that's the best way to do it. But yeah, I'm gonna play y'all part of the beat, and then I'm gonna show y'all a chorus I did, because I did write to this song. Like y'all know, I'm a rapper also. I go by Madchia when I rap, Bovine when I produce, and my name is Andres. That's why that's the intro. Now y'all know if you didn't. But anyways, let's play this beat, and then I'm gonna play all the chorus that I wrote to this beat, just so y'all can kind of see how it would sound as a full song when the song is out. Let's give this a listen real quick. Now let's hear the chorus that I did to it, man. This has been Andres Madchia Bovine. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Esta vida nos va a hacer, todos quieren que se maten. Dios que los cuides esta noche, que los mandes tus ángeles, porque este mundo no los quiere aquí. Estoy mirando qué está pasando, la muerte sigue de mano.